population in those families which have school-age students seems to be ongoing. What suggestions might you have to find a way for these two factions to work together?
Well, this is not a unique problem for New Britain. We see this conflict all over the state, and there are towns that have their municipal budgets done by referendum. And if you follow those, that's the breaking line. You have parents with kids in the schools versus senior citizens who are on fixed incomes. It's a really tragic type of thing that's being set up. And I agree with the mayor that senior citizens are not against education, but their problem is that they can't afford to pay. Now, one of the things that I have done when I'm going door to door talking to people, people on fixed income, senior citizens, I ask them how much their income is, and I ask them how much they pay in property taxes. And some of them are paying 15, 20, 30, 40% of their income in property taxes. I go up to the state capitol and I talk to members of both parties, Democrats and Republicans, and I say, this is a big problem. This is why property tax reform is so very important. But there is something we can do here locally in our own community to address this, and that's the senior property tax relief. The city has the power to do it. We need to add property tax relief for senior citizens. It's the right thing to do. People who cannot afford to stay in their houses only because they can't afford the property taxes because they're on fixed incomes, I think we need to have compassion there. We need to be able to say that the right thing to do is to provide them some relief. And that takes away a lot of the heat of the concern, of the friction that might exist over the budget process of our city in funding schools. It makes it so that people who might be the natural opponents of funding for schools might say, all right, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it is the right thing to make sure that we're providing for a decent education for our city's kids. And that's what other communities have, in fact, done. And that is the result. And that's something that we should do. But one last thing I would say on this is that this is something that a lot of people in our community believe in very strongly, sincerely, genuinely. And I don't think that they should be called being political because they're standing up for something that they genuinely believe in. This is the right thing to do, and it should be done.